Okay, we are live, I believe. Yes, we are. Okay, awesome. Welcome in, everybody. We are back with the full playthrough of Legends ZA. Hunting Riolu, hunting Espurr. As I've mentioned, I'll move on for a little bit. Thank you, Sammy. I'll move on for a little bit and hunt Gibble and Carvana later. So, hope everybody's having a great Monday. If you missed it, my wonderful wife and moderator just finished about 30 minutes ago streaming some Roller Coaster Tycoon. If you go to her page here on Twitch, she's got her YouTube channel where she does some art, videos, and her stream VOD. So if Roller Coaster Tycoon is your sort of thing, definitely check that out. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was enjoying watching. I was glad you went that extra 30 minutes. That's one of those games I always enjoy watching you play. But we are here with this shiny hunt, which will hopefully be wrapped up today. I am doing it full odds, so definitely not a guaranteed thing. Yeah, perfect. There you go. Go ahead and drop that in there. I definitely want to be able to promote you as much as I can. Actually, I'm going to set up my Stream Elements chatbot to post some of our different links that we have. I figured out how to do that just now while I was trying to get rid of the sponsorship stuff. Yeah, so I can post it to drop links at different intervals. So my YouTube, your Twitch. Different things like that. So we're gonna play the rooftop jogging simulator for a bit today. Assassin's Creed, but anime. And we'll see if we can get Riolu. I think Riolu is going to be named Ezio, since I just made the Assassin's Creed joke. Need to get names for Manectric and Pidgey at some point. I also already have. I have not. Okay, I'll do that later. So I think I officially finished the main story part of the DLC on my main file. Super fun. I thought it was, a nice little experience. I'm currently working my way through the kind of DLC post-game, basically. Caught Groudon and Kyogre. Working on Rayquaza. Been doing some shiny hunting, of course. Learned a lot about the donut making process, so that's going to be helpful going forward. And yeah, so I'm excited to be doing this. Wednesday, I think, is the only day this week I'm not streaming. Wednesday and Sunday, because of course I don't do Sundays unless there's extenuating circumstances. But Wednesday will be one of the only days I'm not streaming this week. Because even if we don't have our D&D session on Wednesday, I will be... Hey, Dad. I will be just chilling and playing some Batman. Probably... don't really know. Because I've played both of them in the last... I guess last year or so. Both the ones I play regularly. I have Arkham Knight, but I don't have access to it currently because we don't have PlayStation Plus at the moment, so it was one of the free downloads on that. After I do a few more Nuzlockes, whenever I get ready to kind of take a little Nuzlocke refresher break, probably after 2 or 3 of them, like I did with sort of how this split has worked. I think I'm going to do a full Shiny Alpha run on Legends Arceus. I've done a full Shiny team run before, but I haven't done just specifically Shiny Alphas. So I think that'll be interesting to do. I'll probably eventually do that on this game too. At dawn and at dusk, it's very hard for me to tell if Espurr is shiny or not. I keep getting plenty of Alpha Riolu. Be cool if that was my Shiny Alpha for the team. But honestly, I'll take whatever I can get. let's hang out until morning. Rupa, I'm not sure what you see out there, but it's too cold to go outside. Just make sure the weather... Good. The weather's cooperative. Good to Pidgeot's on the other side. Yeah, I'm hoping to finish these 2 hunts today, so we can go ahead and move on with the story a little bit. But, you know, it is what it is. It's like I mentioned Saturday. I'm trying to think of when I streamed last. It's too early in the week for me to be having that issue, but when I streamed Saturday, I was talking about, you know, just enjoying kind of the casual playthrough experience of this one. Not feeling like, oh, I need to rush to experience the new stuff. So just kind of getting to chill. Also on Saturday, I finished the Link's Past randomizer. The last item I needed was in an area that I had been to a couple of weeks back, just didn't fully explore. Had I found that, I definitely would have finished the stream before this last one, because I would have just... No, actually I wouldn't have, because it took me forever to find the big key in Ganon's tower. But yeah, the next time I do one of those, I'm definitely gonna be a little more thorough in my search. I found everything except for one piece of heart, I believe. And I didn't feel like that was important enough to drag out the playthrough, so... It's almost a completionist run, which I haven't done on that game in a very long time. Probably the last time I did a 100% run of Link to the Past was probably on my Game Boy Advanced. So that would have been maybe back in 07 or 08. Saturday I'm going to try to start a playthrough of Breath of the Wild. I hadn't played through that in a little while. It's been a little bit. So then that'll give me my Saturday streams for a little bit. yeah, I've just sort of found that the two main zombie games I play, I have a lot more fun playing with other people. So just as soon as I'm able to, I think Sammy and I might play Dead Rising together once a month, if she's up for it. And then Buddy Lance is over. Figured you would be. If my buddy Lance is over on a Saturday when I'm getting ready to stream, I'll probably do some Nazi zombies. Yeah. So that's sort of why I've shifted to kind of the Legend of Zelda stuff on Saturdays, just because it's, you know, all the games that I was doing for Zombie Saturday were definitely more fun multiplayer. Including Repo. I think Repo is more fun for me multiplayer these days. Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out. Probably said it a couple of times, but I've really been enjoying watching your streams, so glad you're doing that. Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, especially with Roller Coaster Tycoon, it's been fun just because, like, I've sort of always known how you play, but getting to hear you talk through it is really interesting. But you know, it's a simulator game, it's a strategy type game as well, so both know how I feel about strategy games. And getting to see somebody's process on a game like that is always fun for me. Yeah, I can always tell when you're really enjoying yourself because you can just hear it when you're talking and figuring stuff out. So that's always good. It's always good to be able to play something you really enjoy. Which, you know, has probably partially slowed my growth on Twitch. Pokemon does okay on Twitch, but it's definitely not one of the big Twitch games, but I don't want to, you know, just play like the big, everyone wants to watch kind of games, because those aren't always necessarily the most fun for me, so. But I think Roller Coaster has a fairly decent little Twitch fan base that, you know, people who will check it out. And then on top of that, if you're having fun, that's the most important thing, in my opinion. Yeah, I enjoy Pokemon over other stuff, especially when I start doing my Nuzlockes and really have to strategize. And clearly, I still have a lot to learn on that front, just based off of my White 2 and Red runs. The Sword and Shield run was a bit of an outlier, I think. Okay, well I don't have Riolu anymore. In that case, if I don't have the right weather for Riolu, I'm just going to go ahead and re-roll the day-night cycle. I want to have Espurr and Riolu before I advance, mainly so I can start working on Riolu's friendship. Back. Hopefully Pidgeot's still on the other side. Makes life a lot easier if I don't have to deal with Pidgeot. Yeah, and I think the next Nuzlocke I have planned is going to be a lot of fun. I haven't talked about it on stream a lot, but Sammy knows kind of the basis of what I'm going to be doing. I think it's going to be an interesting one. And I think, even though I'm doing it in Scarlet, which admittedly is an easier game than White 2 for sure, I think the challenge itself is going to be pretty tough. Definitely limiting in a way that a lot of my playthroughs and challenges aren't. I think the only challenge that's similar to what I'm going to be doing was when I did my Mono Dark run in Swish a couple of years back. So this Nuzlocke will have not as restrictive of a type restriction, but it's definitely type restricted. And there's a few other little twists that when I actually get down to that playthrough, I'll talk about in some detail, but I don't want to give everything away. I'm actually surprised one of the Budu or that Spritzy on the other side haven't been shiny yet. So I think I'm basically getting one encounter every 30 or so seconds. So 2 encounters a minute. Take about 2,000 minutes to get full odds, roughly. Didn't you go to... Oh, that's super cute, Sammy. I like that. It's super, super cute. Yeah, okay. There we go. Ah, it's the Halucha across the way. I was trying to find the alpha earlier. I forgot that stuff spawned on the roof across the way. Yeah, we went from 85 yesterday to mid-30s today. So a very wild swing in the weather and the temperature. So my office is significantly cooler today than it was on Saturday. Definitely glad that Pidgeot stayed over there for as long as it has. Okay, I think we do have the first ad break coming up. I'm gonna run that and see everyone on the other side. think my stream on my phone froze up. Get that back open. Okay, there we go. One good thing about the DLC that I've found is that Pokemon that are super hard to find in base game will sometimes appear in the distortion areas. So I've seen Riolu once or twice. Have I seen Absol? I don't think I've seen Absol. That might be a me issue more than anything. So yeah, some of the rarer Halucha is one that I've seen. So if you're somebody that wants to hunt one of those and you don't feel like doing this, then, and you're not like, oh, I gotta have one on my team to start with, the DLC is definitely a good way to go with that. What's up? Yeah, I do. It's really cute. Yeah. An emoji.
An emoji.
Do what? That's what my plan was. Just toss it in the air fryer and warm it up, or... Well, no, because we're probably going to do a smaller portion than the whole thing. We don't want to reheat the whole thing too many times.
What we could do is just cut that small portion, put it on, we have that small pan, just clean, throw it in the air fryer and warm it up.
Yeah, do that. Bad jug. Okay, yeah. That's the plan. We had green chicken chili enchilada stack up last night. And I was telling Sammy while we were eating it that it was the closest to restaurant enchiladas that we've had at home. Okay, well that's the end of the reel. Down here. Go over here and check and make sure Trubbish isn't shiny. Time. And you know what I think gave it that taste that I like so much last night? I think the mixture of cheddar and mozzarella is what pushed it over the edge. Specifically having the sharp cheddar. I think usually we have like the mild or medium cheddar. I think the sharp cheddar is definitely better for that. stairs and start running again. Still say if I get a shiny Alpha Halucha, that might be a pivot that I do. As much as I love Lucario. And Lucario's kind of a funny Pokemon for me. I originally started liking it because of Smash Brothers. I hadn't even played any of the Generation 4 Sinnoh games. But I ended up really liking Lucario and Smash, so it became one of my favorites. I didn't even know Riolu was related to Lucario until much later. So, sort of like Krogunk, my mom bought me a Krogunk plush for my birthday one year. And again, I hadn't played any of the Sinnoh games, so I didn't know anything about him. The first game I ran into both Riolu and Krogunk was Pokemon Y, which is, you know, kind of funny. I have more of a history with those two in Kalos than I do in Sinnoh. Of course, I guess at one point, I thought Kalos had one of the biggest regional dexes in the franchise, because I hadn't played Hoenn, Sinnoh, or Unova when I first played Y, so a bunch of stuff was new to me when I played Y. So Kalos had the biggest regional dex in the franchise at one point. Like, oh, Roselia, that must be a new one. Or Krogunk, Sandile. Trying to think of what else early. Ralts. There's a bunch of stuff early in that game that I thought was new to that game. The Elemental Monkeys, Bidoof. I have since played every mainline game at least once at this point. some of them more than once. Actually, all of them more than once. Specifically, some of them more than once in a very, very short period of time. Because I have a copy of Pokemon Emerald that the second it saves after the Elite Four, it erases your file. Almost certainly a bootleg copy. Which is unfortunate because I bought it at GameStop. But it's pretty specific to know that there's something wrong with it. You have to beat the league for it to do it. It works normally all the way up until then. And so the first time I thought, okay, maybe I just like did something weird to the cartridge while I was saving or whatever. So I played through it again and thought, okay, maybe I'm still doing something strange when I turn off the system at the end of the game or whatever. So I played through it a third time, and then I was like, okay, no, there's definitely something wrong with my cartridge. So I played Emerald 3 times, probably within the span of a week. I was trying to get the other Hoenn fossil and like extra Beldum, stuff like that for my Pokemon Home Master Decks. So I ended up having to play through Sapphire several times because I didn't want to reset my main copy of Ruby. Well, played through Sapphire twice because I played through it once to get the version exclusives and then again to get the couple other things that I needed. I just bred an extra Beldum. And I want to say it was Leap was the other one that I needed. I think I got Armaldo. No, you know what? I had to... No, I bred for my Anorith after I had Armaldo. So it was Leap and Credilli that I had to get. And then I had to restart Pearl a couple of times to get all the starters and make sure I had Glameow. I was trying to remember which cat it was. Unova, luckily, there's 4 games. I didn't have Platinum when I was first going through the Sinnoh part of my Master Deck, so that's why I didn't just do a version of Platinum for the other starter. I got Platinum after I was done with Sinnoh. But Unova, I had all four of its games, so I was able to just use one copy to farm the starters, or my 3 extra copies to farm starters and fossils. And then Black 2 and White 2, I had some special things I had to get on those. All of N's Pokemon, the trades you can do with Yancey and cannot remember the male character's nickname, but you basically get their X-Transceiver back to them, and they do special trades with you, and there's version exclusives for those. And then the Black City and White Tree Battle Tower rewards of the Shiny Gibble and Shiny Dratini, and then the Nature Preserve Shiny Haxorus that you can get. So those were some of the like special Unova things I had to get. So I played through Unova multiple times in pretty quick succession. I think that was the original point that I was trying to make. I had already played through X and Y several times by the time I was doing those. Same with Gens 1 and 2. I had played through those a couple of times. And then I feel like I had to play through Heart Gold multiple times. To get Latios and Kyogre, I think. So I could get some of those for special dex entries to replace like those legendaries from their original game, just because they were a unique kind of grab. And then I had a couple of copies of the Alola games as well that I was able to use. Samuel let me use her Ultra Sun, and then I had Ultra Moon. Yeah, I'll definitely have to do a Pokemon Home deep dive at some point, because I think it's super cool, some of the stuff I have. And so, like, Pokemon that get evolutions later, like Slowpoke, Porygon, some of those for my Master Decks, I had to catch them in their original region. So for, like, all the Gen 1s and 2s, it was the Virtual Console, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and then evolve them into their final form, and I could do that on whatever game I wanted to. So all of my, like, I call them legacy evolutions, have the mark of the original of the Virtual Console for those, and then like my Ruby and Sapphire ones don't have a special mark, which I feel like is something they should go back and add into homes, like, oh, this was from the Game Boy Advance games, and this is from the DS games. But who knows, if we get Switch expansion pass versions of the handheld Pokemon games, they might get a special mark at that point. Sure, I'll notice Espurr a little easier once it actually does pop up shiny. Okay, that's the end of Riolu for today. I would choose a specific weather-dependent Pokemon to hunt. Just got a sudden chill there. I think after the Scarlet Nuzlocke I have planned, I think I'm gonna slightly rig my wheel of games. 'Cause I kind of want to do a Gen 3 game. Doing a full wheel spin, I might just put Leaf Green and Emerald on a coin toss and see which one I get. those are the two I'm kind of leaning towards for the next one. But first I need Riolu and Espurr to shine here and to get the rest of my guys, and then also get through my Paldea run, which I think is going to be super fun. Depending on if you're watching this live, watching the VOD down the road, that run may or may not be up on my YouTube channel. I've got playlists over there for all of my playthroughs that I've done so far. I guess I should say everything since my return to streaming, and then I've got 1 or 2 other playlists for stuff I did while I was streaming on YouTube. But yeah, got the next set of ads coming up, so I'm gonna go ahead and run those, and we'll keep looking for Riolu. Hey Sammy, is there any chance you can bring me something else to snack? My stomach's kind of doing a twist and turn at the moment. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, that's fine. They're in the bag on the couch. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to be off mic for just a couple of minutes, so I'm not crunching in everyone's ears. So I'll be back in just a second. I am back. The thing about my new headset is I don't have to go into OBS to mute myself. I can just mute myself directly on my headset. Which should, in theory, prevent me from muting myself and forgetting about it. Jot, you were just fine on that other side. Stacy, how's it going? Well, that's good. Not too bad. It's not too bad. Just sort of running the rooftops until I get these 2 shinies. I am trying to get Espurr and Riolu. So I think it would be ideal if I got Espurr and then got Riolu not too long after, because then I could just move on. If I get Riolu first, I'll end up going to Zone 3 and doing the stairs again. Sad part is I've had 2 cups of coffee today and I could just about go for another one. Yeah, that's what I figured you were trying to say. Yeah, that does tend to happen sometimes. The tagline for this one could be Assassin's Creed but anime. Yeah, that's a good one too. Need to play those games again. Specifically the Ezio trilogy. I think those are probably the 3 best games. For me at least. You know, that might actually not be a bad thing, because I have done the Batman games recently, relatively speaking. Yeah, I'll start Assassin's Creed 2. New Year's gaming. I just need to remind myself that I don't have to find all the feathers every time I play. Because that's what almost always stops me from finishing runs of that game, is kind of like, must find all collectibles. And I guess it'll also help. I know the last time I tried to play Assassin's Creed 2, I picked up a game I had started way back and I didn't remember how to play. So I guess starting a new game would be better too. So I can refamiliarize myself with the controls. some reason that looked pink. Oh, back to my point from a couple minutes ago about me and my coffee consumption. I used to not drink coffee ever. And now I have days like today where I'm like, is 3 cups really that big of a deal? Yeah. One more pass before I have to drop down and reset the time. Yeah, Sammy, I'm starting to agree with you. I think my Gibble hunt's going to be positively short compared to this one. See if I can get one more encounter in. Okay. Seen that ball over there a couple of times. I didn't realize a bunch of Scraggy spawned down here. I wasn't so set on Lucario. I hadn't already spent 3 hours plus hunting Riolu. Okay, we're almost at the halfway point of the stream. I'm gonna get down here to the end, check Riolu one more time. And I'm gonna take a real quick break. We've got the next set of ads coming up anyway, so we're gonna run those. And I'm gonna take care of my needs. I'm gonna need some water and stuff like that, so I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, awesome. Should be back. And just check the roof over there. I wish I knew if I was getting close enough to respawn those Scrafty. Oh, you know what? They only spawn at night. That makes sense. So I can't hunt them and Riolu at the same time. Yeah, I think if I were able to hunt Riolu at night, I would definitely be respawning those Scrafty. So it's taking a little longer than I was expecting it to, but again, full odds. So that sort of thing happens. I have a Pokemon Sword file that I was using as like a backup Dynamax Adventure file to help with some of those, and then I basically turned it into a Badge Quest file, and it took me forever to get my second teammate. I hunted Tangela for at least a month, maybe more, and finally ended up running into a Pikachu and decided to use that as my second teammate. John, don't you have better things to do than harass a kid in a bucket hat? I need to see something real quick. What level is he? 26. So, be a little harder to catch the alpha, but that might not be so bad. Excuse me. The regular one's only 15, so that's a 11 level difference between the two I just checked. That one's 25. That one's a little more manageable. I also guess if I wanted to, I could, if I get Riolu first, I could just hunt Espurr in Wild Zone 9? I think getting the Alpha Meow Sticks pop up in. So that would be in the same split as Sharpedo and Gibble. And that would kind of divide the shiny hunting half and half. What's up, Liddy? Hey, bud. How's it going? I definitely have to have at least half of my team before I move on, because I don't think Pidgey and Electrike can handle the ZA Royale by themselves. I don't know what I was planning on doing there. I kind of feel like there should be a door down into the shopping center below. You know, it's got all this seating up here on the roof. There's no way to access it from inside the building. I think I'll probably get the Espurr one more time. Back to daytime. See, the last random shiny that we got. Yeah, it's the Beyond. So, that was last Tuesday. Okay, we got the next ad coming up. And we'll be back on the other side. Continuing the Riolu hunt. Okay, we're back from the ads. I wish there was a little doorway into the lower part of the market that I could just in and out to respawn Riolu. That would speed this up pretty significantly. I know the sun's getting low. See if that's far enough. I'm gonna just do a couple of passes on the Scraggy down here, just to kind of give me something different to look at for a few minutes. Yeah, it's definitely far enough to respawn them. Okay, one more pass and then we'll... Okay, tell her I love her too. Yeah, one more pass and then I'll go back to Riolu. I just needed a slight change of scenery for a second. There we go. Okay. It's a male. Yeah, it wasn't the female that I wanted, but it'll do. respawn. As long as I'm hunting Riolu, I might as well. The quicker I can get Riolu encounters, the better. Checking Espurr every time will speed me up just a bit. Well, the good thing is once I do get Riolu, that saves me the trouble of going to Zone 3 and hunting. So, definitely be able to make progress once I get Riolu. I had to make sure that Pidgey wasn't shiny. Well, it took long enough for Riolu to pop up just then. sound good. Hello. For the nighttime. Yeah, and sorry to anybody who's hanging out and listening to silence at the moment. I kind of hit a wall and I'm trying to stay focused. Yeah, that's true. Good thing is, if one of the spritzy on the other side ends up being shiny and I don't notice it, it'll stay and I can always get it later. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, we've got the next to last ad coming up. So we're going to run that and we'll be back on the other side. Oh, we're going to, oh, that is what I'm going to do right there. Probably been over 10 years since I've had an energy drink, but man, I could really go for an energy drink right now. Yeah. Sit down there. Respawn right next to me. Jerk. Okay, he went to the other side. I'm gonna come back higher level and with an ultra ball, and I'm gonna catch that giant. Wish I could make it through a full day again with the right weather. Check of the boys in the alley over here. Guess every time I have to make it nightfall, I'll run down and check the Scraggy. Riolu, I need you to think yellow thoughts. Think Beatles, not Eiffel 65. Yeah, and all the things Sammy just put in the chat. Okay, you thought big thoughts, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but let's try this again, see if we can get a full day of clear weather. Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you for the reminder. I will absolutely. Did I save Espurr? Is the next question. I think I did. Necessarily mean anything. I did not. Okay. There we go. Okay. I've been having a good time on this stream, but I'm actually kind of glad it's almost over so I can get dinner made. Yeah, same here. Well, I did add one of my teammates today, so tomorrow maybe I can get Riolu. And then we'll kind of go forward from there. With about 11 minutes left. So we did make some progress today, luckily. Once I have Riolu, I'll be 2/3 done with my team. And then the other two members I'll just hunt a little bit later. I'm going to run one more set of ads, and we'll keep looking for Riolu, and then we'll try to finish out the stream. See you on the other side. About 7 minutes left. Hope everybody's enjoyed. I know a large part of this stream was just me running back and forth on a rooftop. Nothing really going on. It's sort of the nature of this particular beast. Shiny hunting just be like that sometimes. But we did end up with Espurr, so that's good. I think tomorrow when I hunt, I'm gonna do what I started doing towards the end of this, and anytime it either becomes night or I have to change it tonight, I'm gonna run down that alley and check those Scrafty. Just because that's another fighting type that I wouldn't mind using. The only difference that'll make is that it will change my 6th hunt, because I get Scrafty. I'm not going to want 2 dark types, so Sharpedo would change. Sort of check as I run out of range to make sure that none of the Spritzy are shiny. Okay, yeah, I'll get you one here in just a minute. I have to go down to the bench in a second. Sure, the sun will go down before I finish streaming, so I'll get you a thumbnail when I drop down there. And who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and it'll be a double shiny. Nah, I don't get another opportunity at it. So I'll check these Scraggy real quick and then go over to the bench, get that thumbnail. Maybe hunt for just a minute or two more. That's about what I got left. Take an electrike, set them out for a minute. Flip it back to daytime real quick. And that will get us to the end of the stream. I don't think... Let's see. Okay, so I do have someone that we're going to raid today. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope everyone had a good time. Maybe tomorrow we'll be able to actually get Riolu and move on. And then we'll kind of see how it goes. Again, I appreciate it. See everybody on the other side. Or tomorrow. That's what I actually meant. Yeah. Everyone has a good one.